getting closer. Had a good practice today, and we have to continue to, understand the game plan. But we got another hard day tomorrow, and then it'll taper off a little bit. But it's starting to become clear.
I know you put a lot of work into this in the spring and in the fall. We've talked about that. How anxious are you to see? Excited are you to see what they do now that you can't? I mean, they're going to have to go out there without you coaching. What does Staff do?
No doubt. I mean, it's there's been a lot of work up to this point by everybody in the program, but I know the running backs are excited to get out there and show what they can do. We got to go out there and earn it, and so that's where we're at. Take it game by game.
Do you feel like the guys have kind of a chip on their shoulder based on all the questions?
Well, they know what this is all about, and at the end of the day, we can't worry about anything but just what we can control.
What do you see as indicators this week that do you feel like there's an increase in the energy, a little more pep in their step because it's been a long fall camp, they're finally at this game week? Or have you seen those kind of things around the team this week?
Absolutely. It's Illinois week, game 1. We're fired up.
How do you see that in practice? Like, what kind of stuff what does that look like in practice?
Well, just guys that just fired up, flying around, knowing that all the work, we can get on that plane on Friday with a mission. It's going to be a very tough game. They're a well-coached team. It's a Big Ten West game, and our guys need to be ready to go.
Marquise, when you look at just his progress, how big of an unknown was it just in missing the spring, and how much of a surprise has it been to be able to come in and put his name right up there in a month August like this?
He's worked really hard, Sean, and I feel really good where he's at, and I just think he'll just keep getting better. But I'm starting to see what I need to see consistently, which is good.
Are you seeing what you saw on some of the highlight films when he was playing against Notre Dame?
Yes, sir.
Coach Little was talking about having somebody in mind to take the role for the carries. Physically, are all three of those guys at a spot you feel like they could hold up over the course of a Big Ten season?
I think so, yeah. I mean, obviously it'll remain to be seen. We've got to go out and prove it. But they've prepared well in the summer. They've prepared well in the fall camp. A lot can happen in the season that you don't know, but we're always the next man up if needed be. But I think our guys are ready for the challenge, and then we got to go out there and produce.
What is it about maybe a game that allows you to evaluate those guys differently than a practice?
Because you don't get to hit reset, you don't get to play again. There's no my bads. It's for keeps. It's in the history books. So we got to have guys that understand that every play matters. We don't get to hit the, let's run the play again if we mess up. Nope. You got to produce on that play.
You guys are going to be basically new coaching staff there. I mean, the pass protection point of it for your backs, I mean, how much of a history is there, I guess, in terms of what you're going to see and what you're going to have to prepare for?
Well, within our rules, we have, the whatever the concept is, we have our rules depending on the structure of the defense. Everything's about structure. So if our guys understand the structure, then that allows them to be able to, even if there's nuances that maybe it wasn't perfect in practice, maybe they have a tweak that they have in their game plan, as long as we understand the structure and what is called up front, that allows us to have a chance to be successful.
How do you guys approach recruiting this month when there's some uncertainty still about class sizes? I mean, do you guys want to bring in official visitors this month? You want to kind of wait and see if some of those numbers clear out? Like, how do you guys approach that?
I think it's fluid. I think it's, we're gonna roll, like normal, and then adjust just to see how this thing goes. But obviously recruiting's the lifeblood of your program. We got to make sure that we're identifying kids that are fits for us and what we're trying to get done on both sides of the ball and in special teams.
Is there some incentive to wait this year just to see what some guys do in high school on their film if maybe they didn't play last year or some of the other circumstances?
Yeah, I mean, you're always making sure you're looking. I mean, you just don't know what that some of the pools look like with junior college and what the transfer thing could end up looking like. Obviously, we know high school for the most part, especially within 500 miles, that's important to us. But recruiting in this world now, I mean, it could change drastically with certain guys getting in the transfer portal. You might lose a guy. You just have to be able to adjust and, be good to go and be ready to find those kids that fit us.
And June was obviously crazy for you guys. How close to normal is it starting to feel again, the recruiting process, or is it still kind of?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's good. We were able to have for the most part, regular fall camp, and here in a week or so, we'll be able to get back to communicating with 23s, which will be nice. And get back to being able to see what highlight videos and game film of kids playing. Some kids are playing right now. They've already played, and so that'll be good. That'll be good, and we'll get new JUCO film as well, and so it'll be a conglomerate of stuff. But our recruiting department does a great job, and our coaches do a great job of understanding their area. And then obviously as a position coach, each position, they're like the head coach of their position, so you got to own your position.
Coach Lubick was just saying that he thought that you guys are getting close to narrowing down that number one running back, or you had that guy. But how much do you think that'll carry over into the season? Because there's something different about seeing it in the live game.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to go into a game and we're going to trot out a running back, whoever that is. But that guy, he might be the starter the rest of the year. He might be half the year. You just don't know. It's all about production. Obviously, injuries come into account as well. But every one of those guys that are in the mix are preparing to be the guy. And that's the mindset. But obviously, we'll trot somebody out there, play one, and we'll see how it goes from there.
What are your advantages in trying to get multiple guys prepared as that number one guy?
Well, I mean, it's like any position, right? You don't have one wide receiver. You got to have multiple guys that are ready. But I think as this thing goes, it'll work itself out to where you'd like to have, guys that are taking the majority of the reps when it's all said and done. Sip?
From your vantage point, what have the battles between the offensive line and the D-line look like, particularly when you're kind of going live?
Well, that's a fun show to watch because both of those groups have really progressed in the weight room, on the field. Both O-line and D-line coaches do a tremendous job. Obviously, with Coach Dawson as outside backer, the coach, he's done a tremendous job of those guys. So it's iron sharpening iron. And in this league, it's all about the lines. If you don't have the lines taken care of, it's a empty feeling when you're playing. So those guys have really worked hard, and obviously they need to go out there on Saturday and really play hard and get after it.
Would you say it's more so line plays more important in this league than most leagues, or how would you characterize it?
Well, I think I wouldn't say more important, but in this league, when you look at it, the lines really, they really set the tone for games when you look at it. It's not like we have 50-point games in this league. I mean, there's games where it's 20-17, and that's it's just a grind game, and it's all about fits. It's all about, everybody being where they're supposed to be. It's, getting movement in the running back. 3 yards is a good play in the Big Ten. Obviously, you want more, but at the end of the day, that's a good play. And but the toughest team and the most disciplined team win consistently in this league.
Thank you. Okay, one more quick question. There was news last week by Sports Illustrated that they might increase the number of scholarships that you can get in a year. The working group talking about that. Is that something you guys have talked about or discussed, or will that not affect you because the class is going to be fairly small?
Yeah, we haven't addressed that. I think if they come up with that, then we'll address it. But right now our focus is Illinois. We got to get Illinois. It's all about Illinois. Cool. All right. Have a good one.